The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs, sharing our vulnerability, overcoming our fears, transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Dr. Rashid Buttar, the osteopathic physician and author best known for what you call the coronavirus agenda, the real story behind the origin of COVID-19, the intent to roll back our civil liberties, and the various forces responsible for it. You are trained in general surgery and emergency medicine and served as brigade surgeon while serving in the U.S. Army. Your first book, The 9 Steps to Keep the Doctor Away, became a Wall Street Journal international bestseller, and you are here today to raise awareness and share truth regarding the current global threat we are facing under the guise of COVID-19. A video of you with over 9 million views was recently banned on YouTube, so to avoid further censorship, we've decided that you will be streamed live through our new digital freedom platform located on our website at londonreal.tv. Dr. Buttar, welcome to London Real.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that, and I'm honored to be the first person on your live stream.
Great. I'm really looking forward about getting into it. You know, first of all, just welcome to the Digital Freedom Platform. It's an independent technology solution that is of the people, by the people, for the people. It's available exclusively on our website. And just anybody watching this, if they could please share this out, because we don't have the benefits of these trillion-dollar technology companies and all of their algorithms. And I just want to say to you, Doctor, that I pledge to you that none of this will be edited and that anyone can watch the full version of this episode free without censorship or banning on londonreal.tv/Buttar. And thanks to the generous donations of tens of thousands of people around the world, also known as the London Real Army. And for anybody wanting to become a founding member of this digital freedom platform, they can go to londonreal.tv/freedom to donate. Here at London Real, we've been a platform for free speech since 2011. And Doctor, I'm excited to have you on today. So I don't know where to begin. I think maybe on this video of you with over 9 million views that was banned on YouTube last week. I mean, what is so controversial about what you're saying that is getting video after video of yours banned by these major technology platforms?
Well, I think when the videos that we had, the very first ones, the COVID-19, which the part 3, part 4, and part 5 got banned, they hit around a million within 2 days, and they got censored. And then this 9.1 million that you're talking about from Next News Network, that was, I think, in 6 days. And when you start looking at the numbers, you start realizing that people want the truth. And you and I both know that truth resonates. And when it resonates, and when another individual, another person picks up on that resonance, it's like a magnet. And some people may not know what I'm talking about. Other people may think I'm talking about foo-foo, stuff. Bottom line is this: if you've ever approached a dog and it's a guard dog and the dog growls and snarls, and then you open up let the dog loose and the dog comes up and attacks a person versus the dog doesn't attack a person. What is that? What's the difference in that? It's a resonance that the dog feels, or people being afraid of an animal. If a person isn't afraid of a dog or a horse or something, the dog or the horse senses that, versus if you're not afraid, they can also sense the difference, and the animal will react differently to you. And so I think this resonance with truth resonates, fear resonates, every emotion resonates at a certain frequency. And I believe the reason that so many people watched and tuned in was because they were resonating at that frequency. They wanted the truth, and it appealed to their intellect. I think the reason it's being censored is for the exact same reason. The powers that be don't want the information, the truth out there. And so anything that is getting traction and that they can see that people want, that they're hungry for, they're going to shut it down. Because our message of empowerment is all it was. It's letting people know the facts, letting them come to a conclusion themselves, using their own minds. I'm not trying to put a thought in people's minds. I'm not trying to force them to see something or force them to hear something. I'm just presenting the information and saying, look, you decide, you be the final judge. And that they couldn't afford. And you and I both know, historically, censorship is the first and second step of what a an authoritarian type of government, a dictatorship, the things that myself and millions of other American soldiers, and not just American, by the way, I just want to make sure that this is not just for America, this is for the world. So every soldier that's ever served his nation, they've always done it for the same thing, for freedom. Whether it's an American soldier for the United States, or an English soldier for the United Kingdom, or Iranian soldier for Iran, or a North Korean soldier for Korea. I mean, they've all served their countries, and they've all done it for the same reason, whether it was true or not true. Whatever the propaganda was of that nation, they stood up and potentially sacrificed their life for their country. And then when you start seeing that on a global agenda, there's something going on censoring everybody, there's a problem, and there's a big problem. And it's not the COVID-19, it's the pretense of the COVID-19 and what they're going to create that's coming down the pipeline. And it's already happening. Brian, you've already seen it. I've just yesterday's news of what I heard and all the things that were happening. But you know, there's this thing that my really good friend, Bruce Lipton, who you've had on the show here, Bruce and I put out a video last Friday. It was Bruce, myself, and Nia Peoples. And the video was based upon something that was supposed to happen on Sunday, last Sunday. And it was going to be a major event. I'm not going to bother talking about what it was, but I was basically told, this is the reason I left the United States in 2016 and I moved to New Zealand. And I'm a resident of New Zealand. I'm in the United States right now. But the reason I did this was because I was told something was going to happen in 2019. It didn't happen. And I got a call a week before, or 5 days before Sunday, telling me this is the time, it's going to happen. You need to get the hell out of the country. It's going to be too late, blah, blah, blah. The person, my information, my source of information, doesn't believe in God, is an agnostic, has never prayed. And he told me the only thing that's left now is prayer. And he said, I've been praying. He felt like he was a coward because he'd left. And he said, I just want to get you out. And I realized within another 36 hours with my kids and everything, and it wasn't going to happen. So I contacted Bruce and we sent out a message. And the message was to hold love, gratitude, and compassion in our hearts, and to ask the source energy, what I call the creator, to ask the creator to support us in this evolutionary time. That was all our message was. It was a message of hope and of love, intention. We even were joking in the beginning and joking at the end. And so we kept that in there so people would feel. I didn't want people to know what it was, and they don't know what it was. I wanted them to have the positive feeling. And because it resonates at a certain frequency. And do you know that message got censored? YouTube didn't censor it, and Facebook didn't censor it, to their credit. But emails that were being sent, 200, 300 emails between people being totally censored. Margaret, Bruce's wife, called me and said, what is this? Why are they censoring this? This is just a message of love. Because again, the most important thing that they are trying to hit us on now, they've hit us on, you probably haven't read my book, but there's my philosophy on 7 toxicities. There's 6 toxicities that they've hit us on. The 7th toxicity is spiritual, and they're trying to hit us on that, and they're not going to succeed.
Wow, so you're being censored almost as a person in what you do. And we both have had some recent extreme experience with censorship. And until it happens to you, you know, it's always the other guy. It's always the crazy guy. It's always the conspiracy guy. And then when it happens right in front of your face, you're like, what's going on? And, you know, we both have had videos with millions and millions of views that have now been basically taken down. And we've also felt other censorship. So it's real. I guess that's a sign that we're talking about something that must be true. And yeah, I'd love to get into it and find out what it is from your perspective, because, you know, when I listen to you and you start going down various threads, I mean, you know a lot about this. You know a lot about each individual thread and what's happening. Where do you start with this whole thing? Where do you start to talk to people about what's going on here and what you're seeing that other people aren't?
Well, I think that probably in this particular case, a lot of people see it and feel it. They say something's not right. It doesn't make any sense, you know, 6 feet apart, and you have to maintain social distancing, and you can't get together in groups of more than 50, and then they drop it down to 20. Yet when you're in a plane, planes are flying all over the world. That doesn't make any sense. What about when you go to the grocery food store? It's the most idiotic thought process that's been put forward if this was truly a pandemic. Because if it truly was a pandemic, people would have really died. But they wouldn't be altering death certificates. They wouldn't be furloughing nurses and telling doctors to go home. They wouldn't be taking footage from one hospital and trying to put it on multiple different hospitals. In fact, the Italian hospital that they had the footage on, that they put on for New York, when I've spent a lot of time in ICUs, and I can tell you, I've never seen an ICU like that. But I thought, okay, well, it's in Italy. Maybe that's how their ICUs look. And then when they showed it in New York, I said, wait a second, that's the same ICU. So if you saw part 5, we showed the 2 different videos side by side. And of course, that went viral. There were many people that talked about, and in fact, there were 7 videos and or websites that had information that I included in part 5. And the day before, God works in mysterious ways, really mysterious ways. He's got also an incredible sense of humor. But the 2 hours before, the night before the first website went down, 2 hours before we were supposed to release part 5, 7 of the 9 websites or videos on YouTube disappeared. One of the gentlemen that put out the video that we were going to use, the one in the Bronx, and showing he was walking around hospitals in the Bronx trying to find somebody that had COVID-19. I had a conversation with him, and he said afterwards, after he got censored, after he got his YouTube video taken down, and he goes, Dr. Buttar, I'm telling you right now that if my life depended on me finding a COVID-19 patient in New York, I would be dead because I couldn't find anybody. And he was standing outside the hospital.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.